start the countdown. 3, 2, 1.
It's the next generation of sports talk radio. It's the Mile High Horseman Show, and it starts right now, only on SoundCloud. Now to your hosts, Corwin and Turbodaze. What is up, Mile High Horseman? This is your lead horseman, Corwin, and welcome to episode 3 of the Mile High Horseman Show. I got my co-host with me,
Turbodaze.
And what are we going to be talking about tonight, Jared?
We have a lot on tap on this show. We have the Rockies, our take, who we think should be cut off the Broncos roster for next season, Mile High Horseman fact of the episode, and we're going to announce the Mile High Horseman member of the month as well. So we have a lot to talk about on this episode.
Let's first start off with the Mile High Horseman member of the month.
So we picked out John Payne. He ended up inviting some of his members to our group, or some people he knows into our group, and that's enough to get him member of the month for the month of April. We kind of forgot the past month or so, but we're gonna try to keep our word and have one every month if it's possible. And that's all it takes, guys. Is if you guys support us enough, you guys just type in a Bronco friend that you guys know on the right side of our group and select their name, and if they're not a member already, you can select them and they can join the group as easy as that. 1, 2, 3. So that's our member of the month for this month of April. So
yeah, so pretty much like Jared said, though, like pretty much all you have to do to become member of the month is services to the page, whether that be posting pictures, posting articles, writing articles,
activity. Just give us some activity.
Just activity and stuff like that, and recruiting members like John Payne did this last month, and he really did a lot. He contributed a lot, so that's why he's the member of the month. So moving on, what are you going to talk about now, Jared?
The TJ Ward incident. What's your take on the incident?
Well, honestly, guys, I kind of had a feeling this was going to happen. TJ Ward has had some off-field issues before. As far as I've heard, he has a warrant out for his arrest for assault. A misdemeanor assault, wasn't a felony assault, but still assault nonetheless. Why would you go to a strip club anyway? I mean, honestly, it's just going to, you're going to be drinking alcohol there, you're going to drink too much, and then you're going to end up doing stupid shit that you're going to regret later on, and it ruins your reputation, and it gets you in trouble. So, yeah, that's the whole strip club deal. But as to the charges he's facing, it's just a stupid mistake. And, we've already seen that plenty of times with, Brandon Marshall, Ashley Lee, and even Von Miller last year. There's no room in this organization for bullshit like that. But what's your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, like he stated, there's more players that get involved with the strip clubs, like Pac-Man Jones, one of his entourage members shot a bouncer. He got into trouble with that. As well as Bryant McKinney of the Minnesota Vikings. He has to repay $150,000 for lap dances that he did not pay for, and he was sued, and they were actually asking for like $300,000+ for lap dances he wasn't paying for. So, and there's nothing good that's going to go on after midnight. That's, as a professional athlete, stay away from those places because you're just going to get burned, and women will be after you mainly for your money. So why, and if any of the athletes have wives, I don't know what they would be thinking. Oh yeah, you're just at a strip club and and you're a married man. It's just like, it doesn't make no sense.
But yeah, getting to the final thoughts of that, man, he's going to probably get a suspension. He's going to probably get a fine, most likely. All I can say is, we just signed you, bro. And like I said, the Broncos aren't going to put up with this bullshit, especially the league. I mean, you know how Lord Goodell is. He'll suspend anybody and fine anybody for any reason, especially for something like this. So, yeah, you need to shape up, pal. Get your ass in gear. Pretty much what we were saying about Von Miller. But that's all I got to say about that.
All right, the next topic is, I just wanted to bring up that Terrell Davis will be in my hometown of Sioux Falls, South Dakota from 1 to 3 p.m. on June 13th for Legends. It's a clinic that brings celebrity sports athletes to our city and helps the kids out and helps train them get better, to improve. And we got him this year. We got Chad Greenway. We've had Hall of Fame athletes like Clyde Drexler for basketball. and many others. I think Dominique Wilkins maybe was there one year. Demaryius Thomas was there a few years ago. I ended up usually not able to go because it's on the weekend and I usually have to work weekends. But I'm going to try to get my hands on an autograph Terrell Davis picture that I can covet forever. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm going to be able to have the day off to go to it. So hopefully that pans out for me. So I'll try to give you guys an update if I make it or not. I'm thinking I'm going to miss it for some stupid reason, but hopefully on the next episode I'll be able to give you guys more of a update on what occurred. So and I'm gonna try. And someone told me to bring a Sharpie just in case. So I maybe should just do that. Maybe I should just do that just in case. So, and now we're gonna be talking about the Rockies. Adrian, what do you think about the Rockies so far in this season?
So far, I mean, honestly, the Rockies have been doing pretty good. Right now, they're in a little bit of a funk. Mainly because they're going up against Atlanta this week, and you know Atlanta is a very, very tough place to play. Atlanta plays very good at home, and the Rockies pitching, I'm not going to say their starters aren't really good, but their bullpen, as every year, it's always a concern with the Rockies fans, especially me. I mean, I'm always begging for some kind of change in the bullpen because, you know, right now, Jordan Lyles is our best pitcher right now. He's got like a 3.5 ERA, and he's doing pretty good, and he has 5 wins. So right now he's doing pretty good. But as for the bullpen, those relievers got to definitely step up. That's always been a concern with the Rockies. But as for their hitting, they're doing pretty damn good.
How do you like Michael Kadire and Justin Morneau on your team?
Right now, I'm really liking Cuddy, and he's been with us for a couple of years right now. And last year, he won the National League batting title, well deserved. He was in the All-Star game last year. He's a really good player. Right now, though, we're really missing Nolan Arenado. Last night, he broke his finger on a headfirst slide.
I have a question for you. How often does that happen, where you break a finger from sliding headfirst? Does that happen? Since you watch more baseball than I do, does that happen?
I mean, when you're going in for a head first slide, it happens. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, it's just the next man up. It's definitely going to be a little sucky without him because he was making some amazing plays at third. He would just catch the ball right in midair. He'd do the jump throw. He just makes some beautiful plays, and definitely going to miss him for the next 15 days while he's on the disabled list. But, we called up Josh Rutledge from AAA. So, yeah, he's going to have to fill that spot, but there's definitely some big shoes to fill. So, yeah, that's all I can say about that. But right now, the Rockies are looking good. But right now, they're going up against Atlanta. And, when you're going up against Atlanta, at Atlanta, they play pretty well at home. So last night, we lost a heartbreaker. We lost by 1 run. But when you got a good closer like Kimbrel, where you're only down by 1 run in the top of the 9th, you might as well be down by 5 because he's a good closer. So, yeah, that's all I can say about that. So now we're going to move on to who we think is going to be cut from the roster this next coming year. What's your thoughts? Who do you think is going to get cut?
I personally think that Ronnie Hillman should be off this list. He can't hold on to the football. He likes to run to the sideline, right or left. He's better that way. He's faster that way. Him going straight up the middle, like to the end of the end zone, for example, causes fumbles to occur, and I absolutely can't stand. I don't like Ronnie Hillman. I think his time's up. I don't want to be mean, but it's the truth, and I think there's a lot more running backs out there to choose from as alternatives. So what's your take?
Honestly, just like you said, dude, he's definitely had a fumble problem. He can't hang on to the ball in a clutch situation. As you mentioned, he fumbled the ball like right at the goal line, and that's unacceptable. You can't have that kind of inconsistency in a running back. So yeah, I definitely expect to see Ronnie Hillman get cut from the 52-man roster this coming year.
He doesn't have much weight on him too, so
no, he's definitely kind of a small guy, and like I said, he's kind of a butterfingers, and he doesn't hold on to the ball that much. So yeah, I definitely expect to see him get cut.
Another person I would like to see get out of here for the Broncos is Tony Carter. Tony Carter, I just think he's given up a lot of penalties last season to keep drives for the opposing team. He kept them alive, And during the Super Bowl, I believe he had a penalty that was costly for us. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that went wrong at the Super Bowl, but he did serve a role in that Super Bowl loss, getting penalties when we didn't need it, and kept the drive for the Seahawks going. So it's like this: you get three downs. Then he gets a penalty, and then they get another 3 downs to get into the end zone for like only needing 1 to 5 yards to get in. So it's things like that piss me off. And Tony Carter, I mean, I liked you the first year, but you let me down the second year that you've been with us. So, Adrian, anyone else you can think of on the roster?
No, just like you said though, but I mean, this is what I gotta get off my chest. The defense has definitely got to be a lot more disciplined because just like you said, there was so many penalties last year. It was a huge problem with our defense, not only because of pass coverage, but because of penalties. Penalties was a big thing last year.
They have taken the necessary steps, getting rid of Champ Bailey and some others. There was some people I wanted to stay on our defense, but they let them go. So why is Tony Carter still around and some other players that I don't think actually I think Michael Huff might be out too, who played really bad. Oh, Quinn Jammer is another one I would love to see out of the Broncos roster. He was getting burned. I believe it was against the Chargers. Like every single wide receiver that he was going up against was burning him really bad. Like he couldn't cover worth a shit.
But yeah, guys, moving on. We're going to talk about what game we might be going to this year. Jared, what are we going to be going to this year?
Well, we're going to attempt to snag some tickets and have a Mile High Horseman tailgate party with Blake Bryant, who's going to be hosting it. He had it in like Lot E last year. We're going to do the same. We're going to try to go to the Broncos versus the 49ers game, regular season at Mile High. So hopefully you all can get your tickets as well, and you guys can tailgate with us, talk with us, what you think about our group, and we have a good time. We had a really good time last year. So just remember 49ers game, San Francisco 49ers, which is what week is that? I think it's
like in October. It's a Sunday night football game. So like pretty much what we did last time. We're gonna have the whole day to tailgate and hang out, just chill out. We talked to some really good people last year. I remember there was that guy that came from Germany.
Karsten.
Yeah, and
we had the family. We had that family that showed up, which was really cool. They were nice.
That was really cool to see those people.
They brought their little kid to the tailgate, which was cool. It was to me. I get shivers right now talking about it because it's cool that everyone, just because we had a Facebook group, because of our idea of developing this group, that these people would physically come to our tailgate party. Just because they like our group that we built on Facebook. So it was memorable, and also was very memorable because that was my first time at Mile High Stadium. So that meant a whole lot to me. So, but yeah, we're gonna try to do it big, just like last year, and talk among other Bronco fans. I can try to hold a conversation about the Broncos, So we talked about quite a bit of subjects. We also had Face Man. I remember the guy with the painted Bronco face.
That dude was cool, man. I like that guy.
I think his name is Richard.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really cool talking with him as well. So we're gonna get more details later on in the future, but.
The last year was a blast, hanging out with some good people, talking football, just talking about whatever in general, and it was a great time. Face Man was awesome. The family was awesome. Hell, we even met Christina after the game. That was pretty fun, talking with her for a while. But, yeah, guys, remember it's the Sunday Night Football game against the 49ers, so if you guys are heading down to that game, just be sure to stop by and say hi and have a beer or something. So, yeah.
All right, we're going to get into the Mile High Horseman fact of the episode. This week's player we're going to be talking about is Dennis Smith. He was born in 1959. He was with USC Trojans, but he was drafted in the first round in 1981, long time ago. Smith was the dean of the Broncos defense, a blend of quality performance and survival ethic. In 1993, he made a 6th trip to the Pro Bowl, All of his Pro Bowl appearances have come in the last 8 years with the team. Smith is equally potent against the pass and the run and has more than 1,000 tackles in his career. Dennis Smith, yeah, I enjoyed him. He's almost at the very, he was right when I started getting into the Broncos. I definitely have heard more about him after, later on in life, just kind of like Carl Mecklenburg and Steve Atwater, of course. And like Neil Smith and Mobley and Ray Crockett and all those guys. But, yeah, great guy. So that's the Mile High Horseman fact of the episode. All right, we're going to be talking about how the fans cannot see the Broncos play for training camp this season because they're building an indoor facility for the Broncos. What's your take on the fans not being able to see the Broncos play for training camp?
I think it kind of sucks because people miss out on that. What I would have done is what they used to do a long time ago. They used to have training camp at the University of Denver. There was a couple of alternatives they could have done, but I guess they wanted to stick to their guns and, be a little stubborn about it, so they wanted to train at Dove Valley. Yeah, it is what it is. Fans miss out on training camp this year, so it kind of sucks for them, but they'll still have the scrimmage at Mile High Stadium this year. But what do you think about it?
Well, they can still see them play in the preseason, but training camp, for me, every time – I live in South Dakota. I can't go to the training camp, but I always wish I could go to training camp and see the Broncos play. And there, like you said, there was alternatives, and they should have had the alternatives. They could play down in Pueblo, I'm sure. They could play at University of Colorado. They could play at there's many other venues out there. I'm sure Denver has more than just Dove Valley. For training camp, so they should have had it somewhere else and gave the fans what they wanted. And like the Vikings, they play at Minnesota State University in Mankato in Minnesota. So I know they and actually, let's talk about this. I think they should have had an indoor training facility a long time ago. I think it was past due. I think a lot of fans said that. I agree with them wholeheartedly. What's your take on this indoor facility? It's long, it's been long overdue.
I mean, just like you said, they should have had this done a long time ago. An indoor facility is definitely long overdue. The fans will look forward to seeing it next year, but like I said, it kind of sucks that they won't be able to, see training camp this year, but it is what it is. It's quote unquote for their safety because there's so much construction around there. I think it's a bunch of bullshit if you ask me, but, and like I said, hey, whoa, that's a big ass thunderclap. Yeah, there's some Rocky Mountain Thunder rolling around here. Anyway, like you said, they could even train here in Pueblo. I mean, we got a stadium, Dutch Clark Stadium. That's not a bad venue to have training camp. It's really big. It holds about 15,000 people. It's got an artificial turf. It's got plenty of lighting. It's got a nice PA system. It's actually one of the best high school stadiums in the state. So, I mean, honestly, they could have done it there, but, they did it that way, so it is what it is.
The artificial turf could injure the players, Adrian, and then we'd have an injured Peyton Manning, and our whole season would be gone and done for.
Artificial turf will only hurt you if you don't wear the right cleats. Because I remember one time when they did the caravan down here, they do like a tour around the state. It was a couple of years ago. They did it at Dutch Clark Stadium, and they had this lunge leap or something like that, and I couldn't keep my fucking footing on it, and I fucking slipped, and I hit my head on the fucking turf, and I almost got a concussion. That sucked, but that's because I was wearing just regular shoes. But if they were wearing, turf shoes, then it would be all right. So yeah, guys, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for this episode. Sorry that we really didn't have a whole lot more to talk about, but, it was kind of a slow week.
It is the off season. It's the off season.
Yeah, guys, when the season starts, that's when it's really going to start getting juicy, when we're going to have a lot more stuff to talk about. As for right now, we're just talking about little things that are going on, and, the announcement of the Mile High Horseman tailgate party and stuff like that, little stuff that's going on around here. But when the season starts, it will definitely get really, really good, guys. So, yeah, be sure to stick around. So, yeah, guys, going to pretty much wrap it up. Check out our Facebook group at facebook.com/group/Mile High Horseman. Email us at mhhshow@gmail.com. for your questions and comments, because we read all of them, or to request to be on the show. So yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm Adrian.
And this is Turbodaze.
And thank you guys for tuning in. Mile High salute. Go Broncos. Mile High Horsemen. We ride together. We die together.
We never give up.
And we never give up. Good night.